we had over 1 million people show up out of one call. And then on February 17th, on President's Day, at this Capitol, I spoke to a massive crowd organized with 5051. And then we just had the Veterans March on 3/14. And I spoke there in front of tens of thousands of people. So my question is, when the hell are you going to show up? When are you going to show up? Because we are here. Our lives are at stake. Our future is at stake. I grew up in an elected fascist situation. A guy named Joaquin Balaguer in the Dominican Republic. And he was exactly what Donald Trump hopes to become. So I can tell you what it feels like to live under that. And I promise you, none of us are going to want that. I ran away from that, and it's chasing me now. So I want to hear from everybody here. Please come up and yell at this building and let them know that they have a responsibility, not just at Fox News, because they've been shitty the whole time. But where the hell is NBC?
Yeah. Where's NBC?
Where is everybody? The only
NBC?
person covering our protest is Rachel Maddow. Everybody else is failing us. And this is the story. And it has the most interesting characters, the most interesting arc, because it was born out of a shared concern of the American people. We all got really angry at our government. And our media is supposed to reflect our stories, our anger. They're supposed to tell our stories. So, again, please come on up and join us and tell us why you're here.
Who's got something to say? Yeah!
All my life, I was made to think that I was not a patriot because I didn't blindly support everything my government did. It wasn't until the march, the rally on 3/14, when I saw all those veterans protesting the fascist movement in this country, that I realized that I am a patriot because I care what happens in this country. And the media needs to show everybody that we are patriots.
I've been out of work since November. Cuts to the federal grants for medical research and the cuts to the federal workers' employment have left thousands of high earners out of work. We like to say that we've got the best healthcare, we've got the best research, we've got the best of all these things, and we're proven that's just not the case. Because I haven't worked. I do cancer research. It's down. Where are these new treatments going to come from if we aren't working? Where are the taxes going to come from if we aren't working? How do you plan to finance a government off of the middle class when the middle class isn't working and we're all collecting unemployment? Where are the current unemployment statistics and why aren't they stratified by wage earning? So that we can truly see the problem in this country. We all need to stand up.
That's right. How the hell are we going to pay taxes to... Why are we paying taxes and we agree to do the thing that we said we were going to do, which is pay a portion of our earnings per the rules, but they're not respecting the rules on how they spend our money, right? But again, these are all very interesting questions that the media should be answering for us. And instead, they call it the Tesla protest, Tesla's the day of vandalism. Now, I was one of the people that launched the call for a boycott of Tesla.
Yeah.
I need to have on my resume, so that I can get a job when this thing is over, that I bankrupted Tesla, or that I helped bankrupt Tesla. That is a very important thing to me personally. So please do everything you can to bankrupt Tesla. But I can tell you that story, and that story is not a story of violence. It is not a story of vandalism. It is a story of the American people using their economic power to send a message to the oligarchy that they can't buy this country. This country is not for sale. And so Fox News, rather than working for the people that are trying to buy us, including your owner, Rupert Murdoch, that piece of shit.
Yeah!
Because trust me, Rupert Murdoch may scare you, but we are way scarier than Rupert Murdoch.
Yeah!
All right, who wants to come up?
Yeah! Speak on it!
I would actually like to speak directly to the people inhabiting these buildings behind us. My question for you is, how are you going to stand up to millions of us if you won't stand up to a few of them?
Yeah!
You think you've got a voice? You will only have a voice for as long as he allows you to have it if you keep this up. You need to cover the people who are telling you how we feel about this takeover of authoritarianism. You need to show up. You are the voice of the people. You are the conscience of the country. And if you don't show up, we will remember whose side you took.
That is exactly right. Traitors will be remembered. And it's funny because while they're living it in real time, they don't take that into account. They think that because we have a very short attention span that we're going to forget. And Elon Musk now, I saw him crying on TV recently, and he's talking about it. He's almost done, and he wants to leave. And I say, Elon, I don't care where you go. You're a Nazi, bro. We're going to find you everywhere. I don't care who you are. If your last name is Musk, your life is going to be way more complicated. Because that's what they deserve. They have tried to buy our country. They are making Nazi salutes from behind a presidential podium on the day of the inauguration of the President of the United States. That is as fundamental an insult to this country as you can make. And then he goes on TV and wonders why we all hate him. We all hate him because we all hate people who think that money is something that overwhelms patriotism. And let me tell you something, Fox News. Let me tell you something, NBC. I don't care who your owners are. I know they're not here, but that's the point. They're leaving you on the front lines while they go and sit in their restaurants and talk about cutting your jobs. And by the way, they're paying people billions of dollars in settlements because they're making you lie. So it's your voice that they're polluting. They're telling lies on you. They're making you tell their lies. So who wants to come up and yell at this building with us? All right, here we are.
Hello everyone, my name is Christopher Hooper. I'm a 17-year disabled Navy veteran, medically retired. In my 17 years of naval service, I never once thought the things I was fighting for overseas, I would have to come home and fight against. In 17 years, I fought against the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy. Here we are, 13 years post the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy, and trans service members are being threatened to be kicked out. No one that is qualified should be turned away from service in the United States military. My husband, been married for 6 years. My husband, who I've been married to for 6 years, is active duty. It is terrifying to me, after fighting for the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, that my husband should have to go through his social medias because he's terrified that the things he has on there may or may not have an effect on his career. That's active duty. The fact that the Trump administration now is trying to kick out trans veterans to turn around and deny them health care in the VA, that's fucked up as well. The fact that we're talking about losing 80,000 people from VA healthcare is a direct threat against our veterans' healthcare. We're talking about mental health care. We're talking about the PACT Act. I'm a member of the GWAT generation, the global war on terrorism, the longest war in American history. Millions of veterans around this country will be affected if the Trump administration continues to do what they do. Remove the words news off your building.
That's right.
Let's be real.
That's right.
You lost a case that said you call yourself news. And NBC, listen up. The people are here. The people are speaking. We the people.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, our service members are weird for their jobs, people. They're literally showing up every day, not sure if they can serve this country because of who they are. We're all made of carbon. We're like inherently equal. We're literally all made of the same stuff. And yet we're here arguing over whether somebody can serve their country because of who they were born as.
Boo.
What the hell are we doing?
Boo.
What the hell are we doing? Right, exactly. To serve, exactly. And we had, it's interesting that these people, he avoided Vietnam, and now he presumes to tell our military how they or whether they can do their jobs. I have a very special guest today, guys. Jessica Denson has joined me.
Yeah.
Jessica was one of the organizers on 314 of the Veterans March, along with Cliff. She and Cliff are leading this movement, and she is here to say a few words, and I just want to give her the stage. So everybody, please get very loud for my great friend, Jessica Denson.
Thank you guys so much for coming out today. Now, those of you who know my story well know that about 8 years ago I was on the wrong side of this. And you know why I was on the wrong side of this? Because of them. Because of Fox News. Now, we are here on a Sunday. We need a little bit of a sermon here today because these people purport to represent Christianity, to represent the Christ, someone who came to this earth to bring healing and peace. And these people are infecting this country with a disease, of the fact that we have any percentage of Americans who support a draft-dodging Russian asset in the White House. You know, especially when Democrats were in power, they love to report on the fentanyl crisis. There is no greater fentanyl or drug crisis in this country than Fox News.
That's right. That's right. It's a disease.
Every one of these people, these, take care of your personal appearance as you wish, but these women who have so much done up to go look so, appealing, quote unquote, on television and then put a cross on their neck. A cross on their neck. While they cover and protect this man who is literally living and breathing the Antichrist.
That's right. That's
Do you
right.
really believe in God? Because if you do, you are going to have to answer and atone for what you are doing
That's
in that
right.
building.
That's right. Yeah.
So listen, you guys know it's not just Fox News. We have NBC in this building here too. There's one reporter. We know Rachel Maddow reports on the protests every night.
Yeah, Rachel.
We'll remind Rachel to possibly have the organizers like myself, like Cliff, like Carlos on television sometime to tell you about this painstaking work we're doing to actually have the people flood the streets.
That's right. Have us on air.
But every one of them needs to start normalizing the conversation about the 5-alarm fire we are living through right now and how we get out of it.
Yeah. Woo.
You know, if you were there with us on 314, I told you guys, I said, when you leave here, no more protests about, oh, we're mad about this, we're mad about that. No, our protest is Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and J.D. Vance need to get out of power now. All of them. assets, alcoholics, all these other people poisoning our agencies, firing and terrorizing our federal workers. U.S. Institute of Peace, my God almighty, these poor people were terrorized. They're not even a federal agency. And Elon Musk's 20-year-old hackers came and stormed them out. And a judge said, we don't even need a temporary restraining order to stop it. For God's sakes, what's going on? So just remember, every single day, and speaking of veterans, and thank you so much for your service, all of you for your service. You took an oath to defend the Constitution, and there is a man in the White House right now who is constitutionally barred from that office. He led a deadly insurrection on that building 4 years ago. He was adjudicated to have been the cause of that insurrection, and that currently, to this very moment, disqualifies him from the presidency. What could be a bigger story to report on than this? For anybody new here, if you have any questions about the legal authority behind it, go to nowmarch.org, the legal authority page. They need to have the intellectual curiosity to talk about the fundamental threshold constitutional issue that is being violated by this man who never wants to have an election in this country again.
That's right. That's right.
Site is DonaldLovesVladimir.org, I think, right? And .com. And AmericanOpposition.org is our website. I just want to take a moment, now that we have a crowd, I'm going to talk to you guys for a bit. My name is Carlos Alvarez Aranjos, and I'm the founder of American Opposition.
Yeah!
And we are gathered here today to confront one of the greatest enablers of fascism in this country, Fox News and the rest of the mainstream media. Fox News is not a news network. It is the propaganda arm of Donald Trump's authoritarian regime. It is the megaphone through which Trump's lies are amplified, legitimized, and injected into the bloodstream of American democracy. For years, Fox News has poisoned our public discourse, dividing families and communities with disinformation and hate. They call themselves journalists, but they are not journalists. They are mouthpieces for a dictator. They have chosen to sell out their integrity to support a monster who is deliberately destroying our republic. They legitimize Trump's lies about the 2020 election. Lies that led to the violent attack on our Capitol. They broadcast his false claims about the pandemic. Claims that caused over 400,000 unnecessary American deaths. And I should note that it is a fact of history that no human being has been responsible for more American deaths than Donald Trump, other than his idol, Adolf Hitler.
That's right. That's right.
Fox News has platformed conspiracy theories about our elections, about vaccines, about our democracy itself. They have hosted hate, misogyny, racism, and fascism, all under the guise of fair and balanced reporting. That's right. And why? Because it makes them money. Fox doesn't care about the truth. They don't care about the American people. They care about power, profit, and pleasing the man they've crowned their king. Donald Trump has built his entire career on lies about his wealth, his failures, and his crime. For the 10 years of tax returns that we saw, the New York Times got 10 years of his tax returns. The guy lost more money than any other American for at least a decade, which tells you why he doesn't want to show us the rest of his tax returns.
That's right.
Donald Trump is quite literally the biggest loser in American history. has normalized his lies. They've turned deception into entertainment and hatred into profit. This isn't journalism. This is propaganda.
Yep.
And it is killing our democracy.
Yep.
Every time a Fox anchor repeats Trump's lies, they are giving cover to fascism. Every time they spin his corruption as patriotism, they are betraying not just the American people, but the service members who have given their lives for this country.
That's right. That's right.
And every time they excuse his failures, they are complicit in his crimes. And let's be real, Fox News knows exactly what they're doing. They know that Trump is a criminal. They know that he has destroyed our economy, corrupted our courts, and betrayed our allies. They know that he is a danger to this nation. But they don't care. They will continue to defend him because their loyalty is not to the truth. It's to money and power. Their greed knows no limits. So let me be clear. Fox News, you're cowards.
That's right. Ooh. Ooh, cowards.
You are puppets.
Yeah.
And you are traitors.
Yeah. Yeah, traitors.
You pretend to be champions of free speech while you manipulate the truth to fit your agenda. You claim to be patriots while you dismantle the very foundations of our democracy. You profit from the destruction of the American experiment. And for that, history will remember you.
That's right. Yeah. Woo.
But let me be clear, Fox News is not the only guilty party. CNN, the New York Times, Newsmax, the Washington Post, and so many others are complicit too. These outlets have failed the American people by normalizing Trump's extremism and treating his lies as just another point of view. They are nothing but mouthpieces for their oligarch owners. They've insisted on validating two sides, even though one side is openly hostile to the foundations of our republic. They equate Trump's blatant authoritarianism with legitimate political discourse. They give contracts to Trump loyalists who have no interest in telling the truth, only in spreading his hate.
Yeah.
They act as if fascism is just another political preference, as if the erosion of democratic norms is just another political outcome. They have steadfastly refused to call this what it is, a hostile takeover of the American Republic.
Yeah. Ooh. Ooh.
In their quest for clicks, ratings, and profit, they've abandoned their duty to the public good. They give credibility to lies and treat conspiracy theories as true. They interpret this moment that we're in right now, as a debate. But let me tell you something. Truth versus lies is never a debate.
That's right. Yeah.
Good versus evil is never a debate.
Yeah.
Ignorance versus education is never a debate. Our message to the media is simple. It's written on a sign right around here somewhere. Wake the fuck up! Fascism is thriving because you refuse to do your jobs and treat it with the urgency it demands. Today, we are drawing a line in the sand. We will no longer allow Fox News and other mainstream media outlets to act as propaganda machines unchecked.
Yeah.
We will hold them accountable for every lie they tell, every flame they fan, and every life they put at risk.
Yeah!
And to my fellow Americans, let me say this. Turn off the lies. Stop giving your time, attention, and money to those who would sell you out for profit.
Yeah!
Demand accountability from the networks that have failed us. Make it clear that we will not subsidize their fascist propaganda. And to the media executives and to the anchors in this building, you are accountable for the damage you have done. You are responsible for the violence you've incited. You are complicit in the lies that are tearing our nation apart.
Yeah!
So we say it again. Wake the fuck up! 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 Thank you. We built American opposition to fight this kind of betrayal. We built this movement to make sure their treason is answered. We will not allow Fox News or any other network to continue spreading lies without consequences. We will organize.
Yeah!
We will mobilize.
Yeah!
We will hold you accountable for the rest of your lives.
Yeah!
To every network that normalized Trump lies, that amplified his hate, that treated his corruption as entertainment, your betrayal and your cowardice will never be forgotten. The time has come for real journalism to rise again. Not just in the mainstream, but citizen journalism. This.
Yeah!
Make sure you use the cameras on your phone to tell our stories, because these bastards are not going to do it. So we have to tell our own stories. The beauty is that because of where technology's at, we own the power to replace them.
Yeah! That's right.
We, the American people, are done being lied to.
Yeah!
We are done being manipulated.
Yeah!
We will not allow our democracy to be destroyed for the sake of corporate profit.
Woo!
And make no mistake, Donald Trump will not win. Let me be clear. Dictatorship requires discipline, talent. Being a dictator is a very difficult thing to do well. And Donald Trump has none of the skills required to govern us, let alone to become our supreme leader.
Right!
Donald Trump is as useless a human being as anybody is aware of. I actually have never met anybody who's ever met anybody as plainly ridiculous as Donald Trump. So the fact that this is their horse, the fact that this is the guy that they think is going to rule us, is some kind of sick fucking joke. Come on! We are the greatest nation on earth. We will have to be ruled by greatness. And Donald Trump is the exact opposite of that. And by the way, just look at what we've done to Elon Musk.
Yeah!
We made him our bitch.
Fuck Elon!
Fuck Elon! Elon is crying on TV now because he's worried about his businesses. Guess what, Elon? Even if you leave tomorrow, we're going to bankrupt them for fun. We are more powerful than you, Elon Musk. You thought that being the richest man on earth could put you up against the American people. Let me tell you something. You don't stand a chance, motherfucker! Together, we are building a movement that is grounded in truth, driven by justice, and unstoppable in its determination to reclaim America from the forces of fascism and hate. We represent the people you think you can ignore. We are not just resisting. We are organizing ourselves by the millions, and we are fighting to win.
Yeah.
Just because you're not covering it doesn't mean it's not happening. Ignore us at your peril. And if you don't wake the fuck up, we will do to you what we're doing to Tesla. We will bring the reckoning of the American people down upon you and ruin you. You have a simple choice. Do you stand with tyranny or do you stand with us? History is very clear. History is very clear on what happens to those who stand with tyrants.
Yeah.
If you make the wrong choice, we, the American people, the most powerful force on this planet, will simply destroy you. Thank you very much, guys.
I want to tell these tourists here that they're literally witnessing the movement to save American democracy. This is it. On my way here this morning, I was watching MSNBC and they had a Civil War expert on. She was talking about how she's been reporting on a brewing civil war in this country since something like 2008. And nobody took her seriously until January 6th. Nobody took her seriously. And she said, it's even, as you know, I'm not, surprising anybody with this news this morning. We're closer than ever before to a civil war. And the reporter asked her, what is standing between us and a civil war? And she said, it's us. Us protesting, us rising up, us taking back our power. If that is what is standing between us and a civil war, between us and fascism, between us and dictatorship and an illegal Russian asset destroying centuries of sacrifices for freedom, what could possibly be more important to report on than us? When I was here 2 weeks ago, we marched from here to CNN, and I said, in the courtyard of CNN, I said, if Donald Trump decided to come out right now and have a press conference, they would stop everything, stop whatever coverage they had, stop everything, come out and do a live report on whatever the hell the orange lunatic was saying. Well, why are you not here now? Even MSNBC, all those shows that you watch, they're right in that window right now. Why are they not stopping their live coverage for what is happening here, what is happening in Atlanta, what is happening in New York? What are you doing if this is not your story? This is the story. So listen, I know I'm not the only one here with a story about the media and Fox News. Who else has a story they want to tell?
First, I want to say nobody has paid me to be here today to speak. Also, I'm an introvert and I never do this. I'm telling you, I am here this afternoon because Fox News has poisoned the minds of my beloved parents who raised me in a Christian home to love your neighbor as yourself, to help the poor and the needy. And I am here to tell you that as a retired federal employee, I spent 33 years in the intelligence community. And I propaganda, disinformation, and misinformation of Fox News, my parents think my service to this country brainwashed me. Give me a break. We are here to tell the truth and fight for our democracy. Thank you all for being here.
And that's the story right there. Come on up, sir.
Yeah, come on up.
All right, I'm a retired veteran. Alpha and Omega, 69 and 9 months. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to let this little boy grow up in that fucked up, whatever, dystopia that the man with tertiary syphilis in his brain is designing for. One other thing to say, I lost my catechism a long time ago, but one of the things I remember is what you do for the least of mine, you do for me. I'm going to paraphrase that, and what you do to the least of ours, you're doing to me. So, the Christianity is a bunch of baloney, but our future is here, and we're not, if you look at the back of my shirt, it says, gun-owning liberal snowflake. So, if it comes down to that, I will be in the streets. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And those are the stories, aren't they? The stories of losing our parents to this propaganda. And by the way, if you're listening and you work at Fox News, I just want you to reflect on what you do every day.
Lie.
No, because it's not just lies. Let's be clear. These are stories about ruining people's lives. About taking human lives. We outrun 1.3 billion sperm to get this prize, which is life. And this trophy, which is our bodies. And we get to exist for 80 years in community with each other. And by the way, we're all we have. Our dogs may love us, but they don't give us the kind of validation that life requires, right? We're all we have. And I just want to take a moment to remind the people who work in this building that your power is such that you can take that prize, 80 years on this planet, after running a marathon against the equivalent of all of China. The most special thing we know, which is our existence and love for each other. Because without that, none of this makes sense. And I think one of the things the pandemic took away from us is our sense that we need each other. That we exist in community, that we are only here to serve each other, and that we are the only people that will ever celebrate us or hold each other accountable or love each other or hate each other for that matter. So we're on this planet, we get to exist. We have run a marathon that is impossible. We are all victors. We are all winners. We are all made of the same exact chemical stuff. We cannot claim any difference whatsoever. And yet the people in this building who work here every day, they inject viruses into that experience. They make people lose themselves. I am not speaking to one of my brothers because he is a Trump supporter. He is my, right? That is our story. You're breaking families up. And I don't know what your politics are. Let's not even have a political conversation for a minute. You're destroying family relationships. You're literally ruining people's lives. You're putting people in your falsehoods, which, by the way, I know you know they're false, because I work in strategic communications. So I deal with you guys every day. I know you know you're full of shit. So you know better, and yet you do it intentionally, and then the damage is unquantifiable. Because I love my brother. My brother is one of my favorite people in my life. We grew up in the same bedroom, sharing a bedroom. I know him better than anybody. And these guys made his brain so toxic that I've lost him. And he's still alive. And that is a real tragedy.
Yeah.
And then the second story here, we saw a grandparent standing up for his grandchild. And let me tell you something. We may not like ourselves. We may be living in insecurity. We may be self-harming. We may be whoever. The people with the most damage, the Elon Musks of the world. Elon is a monster. But I guarantee you that even Elon can looks at a kid, well, maybe not Elon, but everybody else looks at a kid and says, man, that's a child, that's innocence, I want to protect that, I want to give that kid a better life. And by the way, if you don't hold that opinion, if you don't believe that children deserve a better country, the level of asshole you're at is unforgivable. Honestly, I don't advocate suicide, but if you really don't want to leave children a better world, you're what we used to say in the Dominican Republic is you're a zero to the left of the decimal point. So that's where we are. We're not here just to protest and be loud, although that's what Cliff told me to do. We're here to reflect on who we are and what we're building together. And by the way, this country is not as broken as they tell us it is. We're like 5 decisions away from having a balanced budget. Like, if you just go back to like the Clinton tax rates and cut the military by 10% and make Medicare available for everybody and do some basic ass shit, this country is in really good shape. So, this is not, we are not in a crisis. They're generating the crisis because they find that the only way they can make money is when we feel like we're in crisis. That's right. So guess what? Now we're going to be in crisis. All right? You've called us into crisis. But you're not going to like the crisis you've created. Because the crisis you've created is going to destroy you. Do you understand me? We're not fucking around. We are not fucking around. We are summoning millions. We have all the veterans on our side. We have all the good guys on our side. All of the good people in this country fucking hate you. So, let me be clear, you motherfuckers. Make your choice now. Because tomorrow will officially be too late. We will not stop. We will ruin Elon Musk. We will ruin Mark Zuckerberg. We will ruin Amazon. And we will ruin you. All right? Who wants to speak? Come on up.
All right, we're all interested in the media putting out the truth, right? Yep. And we want to strike while the iron's hot. Yes? Yeah. Okay. I got a little chant here. I want us to do it at least 7 times. Okay. And here's what it says. All right. It says Fox lies about Signalgate. We want Signalgate investigated. So here's the chant: investigate Signalgate, loose lips, sink ships, and kill American soldiers. You got that? Yes. Is everybody ready? Yeah. All right. Investigate Signalgate, loose lips, sink ships, and kill American soldiers. Investigate Signalgate, loose lips, sink ships, and kill American soldiers. Investigate Signalgate, loose lips, sink ships, and kill American soldiers. Investigate Signalgate, loose lips, sink ships, and kill American soldiers. Investigate Signalgate. You guys are good. Loose lips, sink ships, and kill American soldiers.
Thank you very much, guys.
Oh, there you go. That's okay. Hello, everybody. I am a 74-year-old lady from Frederick, Maryland. And I am representing about 5 people that I know that are quite a bit younger than me, but I have a friend that lost her job at NIH. I have another friend that lost his job at DOT. I have another friend who's a contractor. He had contracts and work with the government. His contract has been canceled. I have another friend whose daughter-in-law works at the University of Pittsburgh, and she lost her grants. She has to fire 6 PhD and grad students from her lab, and she studies bird flu. The list goes on and on. I have the pastor of a church that I'm friends with. One of his parishioners moved from California. They both worked at Fort Detrick. They are both PhDs in science. Both of them have lost their jobs. Now they have no jobs. They have 2 children. One is a special needs child, and they are lost. They have no idea what to do. So even though I might be just the only person here from Frederick, I am representing them. I'm representing all the people that have lost their jobs. I'm representing the people who are in crisis. I'm representing our veterans. I'm representing the citizens of the United States who are not going to put up with this shit anymore.
That's exactly right. We're not going to put up with this shit anymore. And it's interesting because while they don't cover us, on February 5th, on January 27th, we made a call for national protests on February 5th. Over 1 million people showed up. No media coverage. On February 17th, a couple of million people showed up across the country. No media coverage. On 3/4, another few million people showed up. On 3/14 here at the mall, we had veterans show up. And that time they couldn't ignore it as much, because it's hard to ignore a veteran. But they did everything they could to ignore our nation's veterans. And let me tell you something. I was a contractor for DOD under the Obama administration, and I got to work with soldiers. And everybody who serves as a soldier is keenly aware. It's kind of like the people who serve as police officers and other areas of service, that you're just putting your life on the line for something you believe in. And so my question is this: Donald Trump is not a cause worth dying for, but America is. Because we have children, and we have parents, and we have brothers, and we have sisters, and we are worth fighting for and dying for. But an orange idiot is not. So my question to Donald Trump is, who do you think is going to fight for you? I mean, you talk about this Civil War situation. We don't need violence to beat you. You're a moron. But should you choose violence, because fascism is violence, democracy is peace, should this asshole, by the way,